right. Hello and welcome to another episode of Botox and Burpees. I'm here with my very special guest, probably one of the younger guests I would imagine I've had on Botox and Burpees, and also maybe one of the fittest guests. This is Mike Warren. He's been at CrossFit BISON for 1.5 years now, a beloved member and friend to many at the gym. You've already made quite the impact, I would say, in terms of your presence in many positive ways. And I just wanted to bring Mike on. I want you to talk about your experience and as you said before we started, like your fitness experience in life. So let's get started, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess we could start off with where everything kind of stemmed from, and that was playing football at like a super young age, all the way throughout my college career. Um, it started with an easy curl bar, just doing bicep curls and tricep extensions in my bedroom. So it started off
How
very
old were you?
meatheadish.
How
I was like 11 the first time I picked it up.
you picked up a
It,
barbell at 11?
easy curl bar. But like I was saying, it was super meathead stuff. It was super rudimentary. It was nothing like how everything has evolved now, where I'm doing the triathlons, I'm competing with CrossFit comps.
Uh-huh.
It's evolved so much over the so many years I've been training.
Uh-huh.
But what really kicked off everything was the passion to better myself and always working towards a goal. And that was always because of football. With lifting, fitness in general,
Uh-huh.
picking up that barbell made me feel like I was going to give the best effort that I can on the field. So there was always a basis of why am I doing some type of fitness, whether it be, lifting, running, speed work,
Uh-huh.
plyometrics, agility stuff. There was always a goal towards that. And that goal was to be the best football player I could be.
Why did you love football so much?
It was something that I kind of started and I just was naturally pretty solid at it.
Yeah.
And it just felt really great just being on the field like every day. And it was also like the camaraderie that you have with the team, the discipline that you build as a young kid,
Uh-huh.
like all these foundational pieces to your life that I think stem not only from sports, but they also address a lot of other things in life, whether that be, the sense of community, whether that be understanding that challenges
Uh-huh.
actually lead you to probably the best version of yourself. That's what I really enjoyed about it from
Where
a
did
whole.
you go to high school to play football?
That was Butler High School.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like up 23.
Okay. So so you went to Butler High School, you learned how to do strength, learned a lot of work in now. So what was the strength training like at your high school? Did you have good strength coaches? Did you learn a lot about lifting and fitness?
Yeah. I mean, in high school, it was still, we did some power cleans, hand cleans. We actually did some Olympic lifting in high school, which was always really fun. But it was still, pretty typical bench press, squat, deadlift, throw in some hand cleans, some box squats in there.
Hmm.
But what really helped me build like my entire foundation was finally going to a real trainer, actually doing my agility work, my speed work, and just seeing improvements
Hmm.
besides benching, squatting, deadlifting. Like that was it's great to see numbers change, but once you start really like understanding your body and seeing how your body can move and understanding what other things that you can do besides just lifting, that's where the progress really came from. It was more the personal trainer side
Hmm.
than like, the high school exactly.
And then where did you, I assume you took that to college. Wait, what position did you play in football?
So in high school, I was offensive guard, defensive end, defensive tackle, rush end, and then in college, I just strictly played rush end.
Okay. And what were your measurements like then, and what are they like now?
So I think in college, I was a two. My heaviest was my junior, senior year. I was coming in at 248,
Wow.
245.
Okay.
Yeah, now I am like 215.
Okay. Wow. So you had to put on a lot of weight to be able to play in collegiate on the collegiate
But
level.
yeah, I
Oh,
came out of high school. I think I was 220, and then I put on like another 25 pounds in college.
my God. Okay. All right. So
It's a lot.
all right. So take me through college then. So what was that like?
That was a completely different ball game. Like you come from like I came from high school where it was like big like when I once I got to college my they kept on calling me Jersey Mike like GTL that was my thing because I was so good at bench press but everything else was lacking. Like I could bench press 375 for reps but my squat was near my bench. Like it was horrible. So they were like, "We need to fix that," and they did. It was so much, it was so different. It was a lot of more highly skilled work. And because our strength and conditioning coach over at Monmouth actually came from Mississippi State.
Mm-hmm.
So he was really, really good. He actually decreased our entire team's like portfolio by
Mm-hmm.
like half. Like
Wow.
no one got injured. It was crazy. And that like helped us really tune up things. You know, we won the Big South there. It was awesome. Just because I think personally a lot because of the training regimen that he incorporated. Um, it was a huge foundational piece, and I think that just the change from high school to college is night and day.
Mm. So what was your other non, say, training regimen like? Like, did they track what you were eating or like any of the other metrics that usually are associated with health and fitness?
Yeah, I mean at Monmouth it was pretty a little bit more simpler than I'm like if you go to Florida State or Florida or
Sure.
Bama or something, right?
Yeah.
So they would have food options for us in the mornings, lunch, evenings, and it would be like green is good, yellow is bad or decent, and then red is don't do it. But of course, all the offensive linemen are just going right for the red stuff. But
What's the red
the
stuff? Like what?
it was like cookies, cupcakes, because you have like the dessert bar in college,
Yeah.
and then everything else where it's like chicken broccoli at the dining hall. But everybody was just like, all right, like all the offensive linemen were like, we're gonna skip the chicken and broccoli and go right to the cookies, which was whatever. But it was
So,
funny.
so you played for 4 years at Monmouth then?
Yeah, I actually got cut short because of COVID, which
Oh,
really stunk because my it was my senior year was supposed to be the year that we were playing against Rutgers to open the season.
wow.
Yeah, and then COVID happened and it took everything away. It was crazy. That was such like that's where I went from I think I was benching like 350 at the time and then I was like, all right, Rutgers is we're coming going to Rutgers, like big time dream, big stadium, gotta get this done. Then I really trained hard and my bench got up to like 405 in like 4 months. And that's when I was like squatting 550, like the entire, I just revamped everything. And that was a lot of it was by myself because we couldn't go to campus to
Mhm.
train because of COVID. So
Right.
we were still in limbo of like what exactly was going to happen. So over all the years of training and stuff, I kind of just built my own regimen on how to train, how to gain strength. You know, honestly, not too much speed or agility work in there. It was mostly like bench press, squat, deadlift, stuff like that. But all my numbers grew. I gained like 20 pounds, and then they let us know that it got canceled, which stunk.
So, how many years are you now out of college?
Now we are, well, I graduated 21,
21.
26.
So five.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So, okay. So then what happened after college? So you graduated, and then what was the next step of your journey, your fitness journey or
Yeah.
life?
I would say I did 75 hard like a year after college, and that was where that was really fun to me. I like challenging myself into new things, but
Right. 75 hard. So that's the program where you do what again?
um it's 2 workouts per day. One workout has to be outside. It's like a gallon of water, I think 10 pages of a book, no alcohol, um and then following a diet
Wow.
basically.
Okay.
Yeah, for 75 days.
Wow. And you completed it?
Yeah. And I went from 205 to like 185. Yeah. And seeing me now, like it was it was insane because I mean my body fat was near none, but I felt like garbage. Like I couldn't run 3 miles if I wanted to at that weight. Like
Wow.
I was just gassed. Like I had no actual fitness behind me. And that's where a lot of things start clicking in my brain of why am I doing this? What like yeah, it's great to look good, in my opinion, but I think that there's other things like intangibles that you get from whether like besides just working out as a whole, the sense of community that you have in a gym, everything else. There's so many other intangibles besides just how you look
Mm.
that made me feel a little bit empty. After doing it, because what I truly like to do is always working towards a goal. I think that's what makes me be the best person I can be and allows me to be the best person to others as I can be.
Mm-hmm.
And realistically, after that challenge, I kind of just went back into the routine of like just normal bodybuilding stuff. Like I gained like all the weight back, like probably in 2 weeks. Like it was crazy. So there was no really sense of like drive there. Besides, once I completed that, I'm like, all right, it's done. What's like, there was nothing next. And then that's where I kind of stumbled around with CrossFit and I saw the guys, they were power cleaning 275 or something. I forget what comp I watched. It was like they were cleaning 275. I was like, I could do that. And then I saw them like front squat. It was like 315. I'm like, I could do that. And so I was like, why not? Let's give it a try, right? But then, like the first class workout, I get blown up by everybody. I'm like, what? I thought I'd be good at this.
Where was this?
It was at Bison.
Wait, was that Bison? Do you remember that workout? What was that workout?
I think it was like hang clean and like there was some type of running involved. And I was getting passed by everybody. And I was just like, you know what? You know what's hilarious, actually?
What?
I was running in my lifters. So Liz comes and she's like, what are you doing? Like, she's like, I'm just going to let this kid ride it out. So like the first couple workouts I did, I was running in like lifters because there was like power cleans in it. So I'm like, I have to wear my lifters for power cleans. But then there was also running. I was just like, screw it. I'm going to run at them. Horrible.
I will say in full disclosure, I have run in lifters when early in my CrossFit career. And then I realized the stability I got from the lifters was not worth destroying my feet on the run.
No. And they're like 10 pounds.
Yes. So you did that and you realized this is like harder than it looked, I guess.
Yeah. For sure. It was a lot harder than it looked coming in. I feel like everyone probably thinks more highly of themselves than once they actually get their first workout in. It's pretty humbling. But it really drew in so much passion that I built up from a young age, whether that be the sense of community, the sense of discipline, the sense of just every aspect from sports that I learned. And really the biggest foundational piece is understanding that through the hardest efforts, I think you build the most character, whether that be challenges mentally or physically. But every day when you step into the gym, this is what I really love about it, is that you're pushing yourself, or at least I try to the best of my ability. And by doing that hard thing, I clock in my brain that's like, all right, I did that challenge. I got through it. What's next now?
So now that you've been CrossFitting for a year and a half or so, what are your strengths in CrossFit? And what is it that you find most challenging still in CrossFit, either movement wise or time domain wise or whatever it is like?
Yeah, I would say probably barbell cycling. Anything with a barbell, I love. I really do. It's like, give me a barbell, I'll do the workout. It could last for 30 minutes. I love it. But then on right now, what I've really noticed is my burpees are lacking. That's like a big flaw of mine that I have to get right. A lot of gymnastic stuff. Still can't do handstand walks, which is, I need to get that down. I actually just started doing crossovers, which was good. I was happy about that. But I think like the necessary skills would probably be the handstand walking, getting better at gymnastics. Because, I could butterfly pretty well now with the chest to bars. The bar muscle ups are still, they're there, but they're not at the level that I'd like them to be at. And then stuff on the rings, right? Because I haven't practiced too much on the rings yet. So getting the rings down more, handstand walking, and probably some quad endurance at some point.
How's your the time domain? So like say a 5 versus a 10 versus a 30-minute WOD, you know,
Hmm.
it, I would assume most ex-football players are pretty good at machine work, but maybe like you said, the running might still be a challenge a little bit. How do you find all of those different pieces within CrossFit?
I mean, I always start out hot. so, so I mean, I don't mind the 5 minute stuff. I like it because it's quick and it's done. I guess I would struggle more with the middle stuff, where that is like that 10, 15 minute mark. I find myself struggling a little bit more because I try like the first, let's say it's like something 4 rounds. Those first 2 rounds, they're feeling great. The next two, I'm like, oh God, I went way too hard the first time. Um, so I would say, but on the longer end stuff now, since I'm running, like my long runs every single week now are like 10 miles.
Wow.
So the longer end stuff, whether that be the running, I love it. Anything running right now, I'm really loving. But I think it's the middle aspect because I could start off hot, so those first 5 minutes I'll be golden. Longer stuff, I know how to pace myself and my heart rate, I guess. And then, but that middle tier area is
Hmm.
where I would struggle with.
Did you do Friday's workout with the 27-21?
I did.
Yeah, and how'd you do on that second part? That's an open workout. That's probably one of the worst open workouts ever. The 27, 21, 15,
Yeah,
9.
my quads were on fire. I did it with 8:13.
Oh, solid. Okay. All right. Nice.
It was
Uh,
decent,
that,
especially after like the first part with the thrusters. I never tried to do a really heavy thruster before in my life, so that was interesting.
what weight did you do
235.
before that? Yeah. So, okay, nice. That's all right. So you did let's see. You competed in the Vitruvian Games, which was your first CrossFit comp. So what did you learn? Obviously competing is a very different sort of mindset and experience than say an everyday WOD. So what did you take away from it?
I loved it. I really did. Like stepping like and the Vitruvian Games, honestly, I will say was such a cool like venue. It was awesome. It felt like almost like a in-person semis type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
So what I really kind of learned from it was just understanding like fueling for it, like understanding how much carbs you need to take in between sessions and in between workouts to actually perform the best that you can.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just really understanding that you have to gauge your strengths and you have to gauge your weaknesses. And let's say you understand the one workout might not be the best for you. That means you really, really have to kill it on everything else if you want a podium or if you want to place highly in that. Besides that, it was just so fun getting back to competing against
Mm-hmm.
other people again. It was awesome.
What do you do outside the gym now in terms of like tracking your nutrition? Like what metrics are you like measuring or keeping track of now outside the gym?
Yeah, I would say every night I'm looking at my sleep score, whether that be good or bad. That's the best I can do with sleep is, looking at my Garmin, seeing
Mhm.
how I always try to aim for 8, get like 6
Okay.
realistically.
Hmm.
But besides that, I do the Stan Efferding vertical diet, which is just basically whole foods. It's a lot of red meat. And I love it. I think it's super simple. Got a lot of micronutrients in there, and I count my macros. So right now, I think with training, with comp stuff, I'm around like 3,000 calories,
Hmm.
and that's like 240 grams of protein. I think 70 grams of fat, and the remaining is carbs.
So now you have already competed in one triathlon, is that right?
Yeah,
And so what made you decide to do a triathlon?
I would say it was kind of just what my body and my brain likes to do is just find new challenges and try new things.
Yeah.
And I was just like gung ho on trying something new besides lifting, and I was like, let's try the most grueling thing I can think of, which was a triathlon, because I couldn't even imagine coming out of college. I like in my brain, I was like running 3 miles is crazy to me, and it completely changed up once I started doing CrossFit. It changed, and this is what I was saying before, right? It's more than the physical, it's the mental side. It changed how I thought about myself. And by doing the hardest thing I could do, it made me grow in a lot of other ways besides the physical aspects. So once I realized that I become the best person, or I realize that personal growth is through the hardest things, I just keep on trying to challenge myself in some different type of way, whether that be physically or whatever comes up.
So, can you give me an example of how all of this effort in on your fitness side and getting over or, facing these challenges has helped you say in the rest of your life? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like I said before, the harder things you do in life, the more personal growth you'll experience out of it. And I've become better to my friends, my family. I've grown closer to God because of becoming the best version of myself that I could be.
Mhm.
And it honestly, the fitness itself, it clears a lot of white noise out of your head. A lot of anxiety goes away. It's, just you and the next 40 minutes of what you're doing that matter. It's everything else is outside noise and nothing else matters. And you could just tunnel vision on one thing. And I think everybody needs that in some aspect. And it really just helped me, besides, what I help, like try to help other people. It's, like I said, the mental aspect, and also just how it's honestly helped with work too, because it's made me be a little bit more, if I wake up early, I go on a run, I come back to my desk and I feel a lot more fresh, and I can hop on a call and do something more like effortlessly than I thought before.
Mm. So, what is your next challenge that you have coming up for yourself? What are you training for next? What are you looking forward to?
So next week, me and Jess Torch, we have Thieves and Beggars. So that's the comp they're doing at Cedar Grove High School field. And then after that, I would love to do the it's Athlete X or ATHX games over
Right.
in Houston, Texas. That's October 17th. And along the ways between now and the ATHX games, I would try to probably throw in a triathlon in between there. I think the Jersey State Triathlon, the one that I did last year, is July 19th again. So I'll probably end up doing that at some point as
Mm.
well.
So, what is the Thieves and Beggars? Is that a straight up CrossFit competition?
So it is it's CrossFit E. Like we have like rope climbs, chest to bar, but we also have like a yoke carry in there, sandbag cleans. It reminds me a little bit kind of like Rogue Invitational esque, where
Okay.
they're doing like odd movements in there. It's not just strictly like what we did at 908, where that was a lot of rig work, rope climbs, barbell cycling. There's no barbells in this, and it's just like odd movements. What with the yoke carries, sandbags over to yoke, sandbag cleans, that type of stuff. But you also have the CrossFit stuff with the
Hmm.
rig and rope climbs.
What is your ultimate goal in the future, like long term? Is there anything that you see as like some sort of like far off goal in terms of anything here or in your life?
I think I would love to go to an in-person semis. Like that would be awesome. Like that is what I would love to do. I think that's a good goal to set out after a year and a half. Um, I don't want to be like, I'm going to the games.
I thought you were going to say that, actually. That's why I was setting you up to say that. No?
I would love to, right? But you have to also take a step back sometimes too, because your goals could be so high, and I always like to have the highest goals, right? I would love to go to the games. That's an internal goal. That's like I keep that to myself, right? But realistically, I think you got to take it steps at a time, understand how you're progressing in the sport itself. And that's another thing that really I think people like how I view CrossFit. I view it as a sport. I don't view it as a workout, right? And that's two different types of individuals, I feel. Um, but yeah, I think my biggest goal would be right now. Obviously, I would love to go to the games, but going to an in-person semi would be awesome.
Well, your secret's safe with me. I won't tell anyone. Just kidding. So, I really appreciate it, Mike. I think seeing you over this year and a half, I think, has inspired a lot of people. I think your presence at the gym has brought not just inspiration, but a lot of joy and fun and entertainment as well. You are a very happy person at the gym. Uh, and also your drive and fitnessing. I mean, there's no doubt, like you bring like a huge amount of try hard to everything that you do. Like, and fearlessness, to be honest. Like you will go for any, you'll shoot for the moon pretty much every time. And I think that for a lot of us that see that, we love that. I mean, whether it's in a competition, whether it's training for triathlon or something else, like I think it just shows, I think, all of us, hey, maybe if Mike is doing these things, like why shouldn't I also, shoot for these things, or have a little more freedom and joy in what it is. Like I
Yeah,
think you bring a lot of joy when you work out,
thank
and
you.
I think that is a huge plus for any gym, and I really appreciate you being there. And I know a lot of people give you crap for, because you're such a, you know great person and easygoing, and whether people called you Jersey Mike back in the day, I don't see it. Just kidding. You look exactly like someone from The Sopranos, honestly, to me. But but like you, I really appreciate that. Like you're a pretty special
Thank you, Sam.
athlete in person. So good luck on the Thieves and Beggars. Good luck on your next triathlon, and I hope you make the ATHX Games. That's what, sponsored by Adidas. That's a big one.
Hmm.
And look forward to seeing more of you at the gym.
Yeah, absolutely, Sam. Thank you so much.